Hi, I'm Deborah Alicia, and welcome to my channel. If you're returning, thank you for the love, and I hope that the information I share by way of my spiritual growth inspires you on your personal journey. If anything resonates, please like and also subscribe if you desire to be notified when I upload new content. So, the topic of today's download is entitled Divine Union Demystified. Union between those who identify as a divine woman or a divine man seems rather difficult or impossible to understand, being constantly left up to the interpretation of man whose opinion is valued based on the certificate or degree earned by them from other men. However, we will dive deep where deeper denotes clarification rather than vagueness. Please be advised if you should identify your experience with hearing this download as a further perpetuation of the confusion you already possess, we want to further clarify that is because of false indoctrination or false knowledge, and not because we are speaking lies here. Having been raised in a patriarchal society, it's not a coincidence that one may experience pain when hearing information that is in contradiction to what supports that society. So if growth is truly what you desire here, I want to encourage you to push past the resistance, to reject what is being said here, and to hear the Spirit and what it is saying that not only benefits just the desire of men and what they want, but our divine nature. Quick disclaimer, I'm a divine being having a human experience, and through this experience, I'm opening up portals, y'all, whereby I'm able to access divine intelligence for my spiritual growth within this body. So I am subject to change. So I would hope that you keep this in mind, as what I say today can be refined, okay, in the future. So attempting to hold me to that without knowing the updated version of me is quite foolish, okay? So the topic of this download today is Divine Union Demystified. My attention was first turned to the word convergence, where the main word is to converge, which means to meet at a point, right? The divine union I speak of here is physical. That physical manifestation that takes place without as the result of the divine union taking place within us individually. A divine man being attracted by a divine woman converge, meaning they meet at divinity because their bond transcends the three-dimensional plane, right? Within this union, without understanding already does exist, which is the reason for the convergent in the first place. Both are elevated to greater levels whether they are sexually involved or not. I'm going to say that again. Both man and woman in a divine union elevate to greater levels whether they are sexually involved or not. I'm going to let that marinate as we move forward. The union is a spiritual transcendence due to the divine union taking place within who? The woman. It is her elevation first and foremost that impacts not only herself, but her environment. So if there are men on this physical plane that identify with divinity, it's not because he is sleeping with a divine woman. Her embodiment of wisdom on this planet is sufficient enough to raise the vibration of this planet in those who inhabit it. Okay? For a man to experience a divine woman sexually would just be an outward expression of the divine union taking place within her. Okay? The divine man experiences the benefits of that growth within her, right? Which is evident in his reciprocity. Yeah? His reciprocity. His reciprocity in word and in deed of the wisdom she embodies shows his heart has been penetrated by divine wisdom. There is a divine union taking place between them. Again, no physical penetration is needed. When a man meets a divine woman at the point of convergence, the point of divinity, his pathway to get there is not the same. In other words, the pathway of a man and a woman are not the same in activating and establishing their root chakra. Yeah? It is not created equal. Okay? Greater levels of understanding of those pathways will take place in the divine union. Again, no physical penetration is needed here. The woman, when her root chakra, the foundation of alignment, is established, and the man, when as the result of her alignment is open to the wisdom she receives, and he shows proof of that, yeah, through his reciprocation, okay? Yeah. This reciprocation demonstrated, testifies to the union taking place. Again, this has nothing to do with sexual penetration. And such a union is a reflection of divine love taking place between them and the Creator who has joined them by way of their alignment. The rise of the Kundalini takes place within the woman. It does not take place within the man. Yeah. Did I lose you? Are you still here? If you are, it says a lot about you. Yeah. It says a lot about you. Yeah. That's not for me. That's for you. Yeah. 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 Growth, y'all. Growth. We're growing here. We're growing here. We're growing here. And there is more to come. There is more clarity to come. And there is more to be gained and to be had and to be revealed. So, yeah, just hold on. Right? Just hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. So I'm going to say that again. The rise of the Kundalini takes place within the woman. It does not take place within the man. When a woman has yet to reach her divinity, the man finds no value, right, in her existence due to his biological makeup, right? Given much emphasis to the word logical in this word. Which is evident today as he subconsciously looks to replace her with technology. Evident in movies created by them like Stepford Wives or just the female robots that they're trying to create at this time. And he does not find her opinion to be important as she has been reduced to a floorboard in the house, aka his fortitude, which he has been trying to build alone, simply wanting her to be satisfied with his leading while taking credit for her administration skills. Yeah. Collectively, men have confided in women in their lives to show up powerful before their fellow men, only for him to belittle her before them as if he came up with his most successful ideas all by himself. If a man shows up for a divine woman in alignment, it bears witness to his connection to the wisdom she embodies. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to see her value. Yeah? He would not be able to see her value, y'all. There is no competition here. There is no competition here said in these words. It's just order. No respect of persons here. It's just order. When order isn't respected, confusion takes its course on the path of resistance. It's no different when the male creature see a female creature and is attracted, and should there be another male with the same interest, it is divine order for them to prove whose vibration is a match to her. However, and that's a big however, with divinity, sexual penetration isn't necessary. It's a consequence. Yeah, it's a consequence. With the creatures, this will be identified in the male's determination as he is up for the challenge because the connection is real. That which isn't an energy match is demonstrated in the male's ability to walk away. Right? A divine union, though, is orchestrated by the Most High. Yeah. And there is no confusion or ambiguity. If a man or a woman has to question their union, and I really want you to pay attention to this word union, because I didn't really go into that too deep, because I believe the Spirit will reveal to you what is being said here. because it's very elementary, right? But there's a lot of confusion out here because you have a lot of illustrations being presented, right, that speak to a lot of sexual activity, a lot of hands-on approaches, if you will. Yeah. Not a lot of information being shared out here that pertains to the spirit, the initiation of the spirit. And that's what I'm talking about here, right? When you think of union, it is what it is, right? Yeah. You can have sexual experience with, a man, right? And not be in union. I'm going to say that again. You can have a sexual experience with a man and not be in union. There is no unity. So please keep in mind, if you have to pause this, go look up the word union to like really reprogram your mind what we're talking about here. Yeah. If a man or a woman has to question their union, which I just said doesn't have to do with physical penetration nor marriage, it is safe to say a union is not being orchestrated. Again, I have to keep saying this has nothing to do with sexual penetration or marriage. If the woman has to question the validity of being united, she most likely needs to establish her root chakra, because it is the root chakra that is the foundation of alignment. And if she is unclear, that is because the truth is hidden from her mind. Not because she can't have it, but she hasn't gone through the necessary, establishing of that, that base, that root where alignment occurs from. Yeah. If the man has to question the validity of being united, right, with the woman, or as they like to call it, loyalty. These hoes ain't loyal. If he has to question that, it is simply because the woman in his life, that could be mother, sister, cousin, friend, whoever, the women in his life are not a vibrational match if he feels that way about them. They don't feel like home to where he currently is, vibrationally speaking. Okay? A divine woman, however, will know her match vibrationally. And this is not just with romantic partnerships, okay? It's this knowing that allows her to be herself and not feel the need to prove her value. It is what makes her attractive. Not because she's faking it or trying to play hard to get, but because she knows and is satisfied by way of her alignment. The Most High Mother and Father is very real to her and is a tangible experience, a tangible presence. She is whole within herself. She will not suppress her crown chakra to assist men who aren't a vibrational match as to block the one who is in the effort to compensate, that is, in the effort to compensate the inadequacies of the one who isn't. This is very important because just as the root chakra is the foundation of alignment, a divine woman's alignment is the foundation of divine union between her and a man. It is impossible for a woman to be in a karmic energy and establish divine union. Karmic energy meaning out of alignment. We're not talking about imperfection here, right? Yeah, we mean out of alignment due to an unestablished root chakra. Because without this foundation, we can't establish the other primary chakras. We can't strive for perfection, as we will be absent of the backbone that is necessary to receive divine seeds to birth the fruits of the Spirit. How can we be aware of a divine connection with the Most High Mother and Father, let alone have divine union without, if we don't know what's happening within, ladies. Yeah. How does that work? How does that work when the woman is the very divine portal from which we come into this planet to have a human experience? Make it make sense. Yo. In the words of Bayina, I don't know if I'm saying her right. I don't mean to butcher it, sorry. But Bayina S. Jeffries, right? A nation can rise no higher than its woman, right? Although I'm not familiar with her book because I have not read it, I am familiar with the quote. Yeah, and that came to mind as I wrote, this with the assistance of my higher self, all right? So, truly, our divine greatness is revealed in alignment with divinity. Outside of that, our true self remains hidden in an artificial order embraced. Please feel free to like and leave a comment if any of this information resonated with you. If it brought you clarity, I would love to hear how. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified of my latest content. And until next time, peace.